Hello, and welcome to this month's market report. This first slide we're looking at is the available inventory new construction in Easton Park, currently available right now, the first Tuesday of December. A couple things to note with this one is Brookfield sold quite a few homes this past month, surprisingly. I say surprisingly, not because Brookfield is bad at selling homes, but a lot of us have been struggling to sell homes this past month. So there has been an uptick in market activity on the 1,100 to 2,100 square foot homes, which is mainly Brookfield. So that's exciting to see that. We're seeing more buyers enter the community. And then you can see on the bottom right of this the total available inventory for new construction. There were 83 at the beginning of November. Now there's 68 at the beginning of December, which is great. Great news for especially homeowners because we have less new construction homes to compete against as we're trying to sell our homes. When I started doing these videos about 5-6 months ago, that available inventory was over 100 new homes just sitting there. So it's great to see it dip under 70 homes. It's never going to be zero, not for another 10, 15 years when the neighborhood's completely built out. So it's just good to see it at a reasonable number now and not super high like it has been in the past. I feel like I should also bring up my background. I literally have a cat tree behind me. So I'm moving. We're closing in 2 weeks to Pilot Park. And so, you're going to just have a bare shelf and cat tree behind me for this video. And then next month, you'll have a bare shelf and cat tree in a new home. So that'll be exciting until we can get everything sorted there. So sorry about the background. I'll do better after we move. Looking at this slide, we're looking at closed resale for November. We had 5 homes sell, which is pretty good. In October, we had 4, so one more than October. We are seeing some movement there. You can look through all of these. I don't need to talk through the numbers with you. One thing that did catch my eye, looking down at the past 90 days, the closed price to list price ratio. Last month, that ratio was 98% to 102. Now it's 91% to 102. So that means one of these homes that sold accepted a price 9% lower than their list price. So that is important to know if you're currently trying to sell your home in the neighborhood and you see a house down the street sell their home and you think, well, how did they sell that price? They probably didn't. They probably accepted a lower price than what they had listed. So keep that in mind, be informed with exactly how much comparable homes in the neighborhood are closing for, so that if we get this offer, we may need to consider it, right? And as always, you can reach out to me. My info is in the description below. You can text or email me, and I'm happy to share more thorough information on specific properties I've sold, and also give you a market valuation for your home too, if that's interesting to you. This next slide is my favorite one. This is the available now. So on the bottom right, we're going to look just at resale first. There are 19 single-family homes currently available in Easton Park that are resale. There were 28 a month ago. So 5, that's 9 less, right? 5 sold, like I said in the last slide, and 4 withdrew from the market. So there are now only 19, and then there are 5 detached condos also available. Price range hasn't changed that much since last month. Average price per square foot hasn't really changed that much. Median days on market did jump up, but with 9 out of 28 single-family homes being off the market, that is liable to adjust that median days on market. For the median days on market for closed homes, past 90 days, that's 77 days. So that's good information to have, because median is 2.5 months from listing the home to accepting an offer. And so that's important if you're thinking of moving, say in May of 2025. We need to start having the conversation in February of preparing the home and probably listing the home in March, so that you can make that deadline for your move. So definitely important to have that information. Looking to the left at this bar chart, this is a resale, which is in the white bars, versus new construction in the gray-blue bars. One thing to note with this is you'll notice there are very few new construction homes here for the low square foot range. 1,100 to 1,700, I saw 4, and 1,700 to 2,100, I saw 2. Now, this is because I'm pulling this information from the Austin Board of Realtors multiple listing service data. And that's what was on there. Most of these are Brookfield, so I contacted Brookfield and asked what's going on with this. And they basically said, we sold so many homes the past 2 weeks, we haven't had a chance to update the MLS. So they were doing it the day that I pulled this. So those numbers are a little off. The inventory sheets I started this video with, that is accurate. I made sure of that. But those two are off, just FYI. That's why I put near the top, I'm pulling this data from the MLS. The one thing I'll say for this bar chart that stood out to me is the 2,100 to 2,600 square foot homes, the 8 available resale. That's a really low average price per square foot, meaning there's some really great deals in that square foot range in the neighborhood. So if you have anyone who's thinking of moving to Easton Park, I'd encourage you to have them contact me and we can look at those homes that are available in that square foot range, because yeah, that's incredibly low compared to every other new build and new construction home currently available in the neighborhood. For those of you considering renting out your property, we have the Easton Park rental report here. As I've done the past couple videos, I've invited Drew Coley from Good Neighbor Property Management to share his insight and give us some of his top tips for being a landlord in Easton Park. So without further ado, here is Drew.
Happy December, y'all. Drew with Good Neighbor Property Management, hopping back on for a rental and leasing update in Easton Park over the last 30 days. Jumping straight in. Also, thanks to Daniel for creating this and having me on. We had 15 rentals available, inventory a little down from the previous 30-day slot. Under contract and leased properties a little up. Both these stats very usual for this time of the year, because fewer folks are listing and the tenants that are looking are trying to get into something before the holidays hit. And that's also a super helpful thing to know about. This time of the year, the latter half of November, slow. The latter half of December, crickets. So if you're listing or wanting to list your home, use the first half of December. There's an uptick in tenant demand right now. Use the first couple of weeks of December to your advantage, because the tenant demand that comes now will disappear between Christmas and New Year's and won't come back until likely the latter half of January. So just something to keep in mind as we move forward. Moving on, the landlord update or tip for the month. The winters typically present the highest rates of late rent payments and evictions in the leasing market historically. And so, number one, know your lease, right? What are the late fee stipulations that you put in when you drafted the lease? Number two, are you holding those accountable, right? If you're self-managing, do you know how to send out a late fee notice? Great. What's your deadline for when you'll stop accepting late fees and file a notice to vacate if the rent is still not paid, right? Know your dates, your boundaries, and your policies, because those landlords that tend to make exceptions or tend to go, oh, okay, well, next week, and then next week, they're the ones who end up having to file an eviction 2 to 3 months later with months of lost rent and thousands in damages. And so know what your policies are and hold them accountable. And a selfish plug here, but professional representation goes a long way, because running your home like it's its own business is imperative, right? It creates a more professional atmosphere for your tenants. It creates a much more peace of mind approach for you. And it's black and white. It's very clear what the policies are and what they're being held to. So yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions at all. We're always happy to help. I live in Easton Park. I'm happy to be a resource. 512-763-6197, or you can visit us at goodneighborpm.com. Thanks, y'all. Happy holidays.
I want to thank Drew again for his contribution on the rental side of this video, and thank you for watching the whole video. I do uploads once a week for this channel, all real estate related for Easton Park, so if that sounds interesting to you and you want to stay updated on what's happening in our neighborhood, subscribe below, please share the video with your friends and family, and until next time, I hope to see you around the neighborhood, and I hope you guys have a great holiday season.